For those of you who'd like access to this content, follow the link in the description box, visit our Patreon page, and subscribe to the Black Kluge tier. For a mere $5 a month, you get access to the alternate Sunday episodes you've been missing, only available on Patreon, as well as the weekly Tuesday episodes. But wait, there's more. If you subscribe to the Black Kluge tier, you'll also get 2 weeks advance notice to our Thursday sessions. And if you needed any more incentive, when we have bonus episodes, Patreon is the place where you're going to find them. Also, don't forget to check out Teepublic for our great swag. The link is also in the aforementioned description.
Just do me a favor. If 5 years from now I was right, you tell me. All right? Thank you.
If we're still speaking.
Jeez, he's such a... See, even that, he's nasty.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll stop talking to you.
Yeah, I'll stop talking. Well, I don't threaten people.
No. And what's so great about it is that if I met you in person, you wouldn't have the balls to come up and say that to me. Because I'd sock you in the fucking head. And probably deck you.
When I was a little kid, yeah, he just slowed it down. When I was a little kid, my dad would take me to ball games. I would sit there with my hands over my head. I was so scared of getting hit by a ball.
I was going to look for a Nikki Hilton. But you see, those good-looking rich girls, they don't go for a guy like me because they don't need my money.
But it's my mind, not my penis, that I have to train.
Yeah, I'm working on training my penis. That's where I've been going wrong. That's why I lost half my money. I can't believe my penis. Train the mind.
And all you do is mooch off of people. You do nothing. You're a big homo.
That's not entirely true.
What do you do, really?
I'm bisexual and I don't mooch off everybody.
The single best thing about going out with Howard is that we get courtside seats to the Knicks game.
Yeah, we loved it.
Damn!
When did you have your interviews? During the day?
How am I supposed to find a new job?
I don't know.
Send out smoke signals?
See, anybody would leave that job that you left with us. And the one thing I don't respond well to is humiliation. I don't respond well to it at all. You know, I want to be told what a shithead I am. I don't want to, those days are over. I've suffered enough in this business. I don't need to find out what a shithead I am.
But look at your hair. I mean, every curl is manufactured. It's terrific. And you're a radio guy. You're not even on TV.
I am on TV. I'm on demand, and I was on E for 11 years.
Yeah.
It's the #1 show on E for
It was exciting. You and Joan Rivers. I couldn't get enough of that.
I mean, Gary's got wife and kids. And if I leave, who the fuck is going to hire him?
Just help me out. Turn out the lights so I don't have to pay the electric bill every minute. It makes me sick.
The hair is real, and I don't color. Don't get too frisky.
I mean, if I was to give it a good yank, you wouldn't know.
No, wouldn't all fall out. No, I have my own hair.
And you dye it, obviously.
I do not color it. As you can see,
What?
I have some gray in it, but no, I'm very blessed. My
Howard,
grandfather.
look me in the eye and repeat that.
I swear on a stack of Bibles that I don't color my hair.
It's that 3 months into this relationship that you told him, Howard, this relationship is all about you.
Oh, I think I knew that from day one, but I'm okay with it. It's all about him, Ed. We watch TV, what he wants to watch. We eat. We wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. We go to bed at 8. I love it, though. It's my life.
Welcome, folks, to QF, a podcast about Howard Stern. I'm Fillmore, your host, a.k.a. Jim Fix, with Sam. How are you, my dear?
Good.
Guys, we are going into this old clip from 1993. They're goofing on Robin for having a massive picture of herself in her living room. And I don't know the exact date, but, the details were a little sketchy back then. I just know the year and maybe the month I could find it. But either way, it's a fairly long clip, but we'll go through it right now. I want to ask you that question. Like, other than a wedding photo that, like, if you had a wedding photo, you and Rick not married yet, but would you ever put a big picture of yourself anywhere in your house?
No.
Right?
No. I know, like, my Aunt Teresa, who lives in, like, this gigantic mansion, her and my Uncle Phil, she had a portrait, like, painted of her on her wedding, and it hangs above, like, in a room over a fireplace. And, like, I think that's pretty, and that's fine, because it's
a painting.
It's a painting, and it represents, like, that day, and it was so beautiful.
Yeah.
And, that's fine, I think. But anything, like, some of these celebrities, I remember Paris Hilton did, like, a walkthrough of her house, and there's a picture of her on every corner, every wall, everywhere.
Yeah. Well, and that's a massive narcissism. I mean, the thing I remember was if you had the biggest picture in anybody's house that I was growing up with was a massive family photo, like all the extended family in this big group shot. That makes perfect sense to me. But again, that's something, it was rare. Most of the times it would just be your family, your immediate family. And then it wouldn't be that big. It'd be like an 8x10.
I saw a lot of families, especially in the 90s, with those big Olin Mill portraits of their family, and they're very embarrassing, but they hung them up everywhere. So, I don't really mind that either because it's your family.
It is yeah.
But you know who else does that? Beth. She puts those photographs of herself, small, large, fucking everywhere. So empty.
Here's a blind. We haven't done any for a while, and this one just came out a day ago or so. Entertainment Lawyer 603. Considering the abject failure of her last album, no one is quite sure why the A-list everything in her mind celebrity is in a rush to get back to the studio. Jennifer Lopez.
Oh, please. God help us.
Yeah.
God help us. What are you doing? By the way, for anybody that doesn't know, I just shared some exciting news with Fillmore. Guess who's getting a reality TV show, guys, in 2025? Ready? It's the Baldwins.
Can you say reality show?
Can you say welcome to mi casa?
Well, God, that'll be great. I wonder how many clips of her like going off. Oh, this is the thing. Right before we even get into it, because I don't even think they've cut a promo, have they?
Well, they cut a Instagram promo.
Nah.
But they used TLC's logo and stuff. So TLC is doing the show, which, gives us all those sister wives and that great television.
Well, one thing I was thinking, like, is she going to go into character for the whole thing, or are they going to get her just talking normally from time to time and throw it in?
That's the weirdest part about this Instagram promo that I came across was she was in her Valley Girl voice. Hi, guys. Okay. Like, we're sit up straight. Like, she was talking like California Hillary or something, but she didn't sound Spanish in the slightest, which is very bizarre because on the street, that lady is faux Spanish, as Spanish as you can be.
So why aren't the media outlets going after her for that constantly?
I mean, they did for a while, but I think it's just it's been done. And I think once this reality show happens and their lack of self-awareness is evident, and it's going to be a fucking dumpster fire. Everybody knows it. Those kids are out of control. He's a fucking disaster. She's a mess.
Yeah. It's like two dumpster fires running into each other at high speed. Yeah.
And then causes a forest fire.
Right. We are going to cover this like as it happens.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to put it on Patreon, but we're going to promo the fuck out of it on TikTok and Instagram, like little clips of it, because we can that way we can at least put it through there. Even if I can only put it on my, Google Drive, whatever, you're going to be able to download our versions of it. But if I can get it on Quite frankly, or two. That's right. The next one, guys, also from the previous day before, 602. People rushing to the defense of the A-list everything in her mind celebrity and saying her ticket sales were not low or wrong. You're not making any money with less than 75% sold. And of that number, quote unquote, sold, many were bought by scalpers who were having trouble offloading tickets at $10 each.
I believe it. 100% believe it. And I watched a TikToker today say, why can't you just come clean that, guys, I'll do better next time. I rushed this tour. You guys didn't really love this album and what I put out. And I'm sorry. Like, I waited a long time to put out an album and it just didn't do what I thought it would do. And I'm sorry I let you down. And I promise next time I'll, something like that. But no, she makes up this lie that she has to spend more time with her family. Okay.
Yeah, well, this is another one that I found funny. That this involves that Scott Stapp guy from Creed, the singer. Remember, he did that poker show with Steve Sharippa and Beth. They were on it, and he was like coming on to her, and he was all fucked up. I love that video; it's so good.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's called Scrubbed. This is from 603. This singer at one point was A+/A-list with his group. After leaving the group, he is back with them now. He has done a great job of mostly scrubbing the internet a story that involved himself driving hundreds of miles to hook up with a college student while he was dating his soon-to-be ex-wife. His sister drove him to the hookup, but our singer was unable to find his hookup at a local diner because he had been punked. The entire group of people at the diner knew why he was there. The night turned into him crashing at an apartment after convincing someone to buy Coke for him, which he proceeded to do all while walking around in his underwear telling everyone that Coke makes him horny. Did I mention that he portrayed himself as a Christian singer? He was at a Denny's in Gainesville, Florida.
Why? The levels of desperation celebrities find themselves in, especially in these blind items, is you shouldn't emulate or follow or listen to most of these people.
No, you shouldn't. Anyway, guys, here we're going to go right into it here.
Gary's so mad at you, Robin.
Why?
Because you're making fun of him about how he screens people. He told me something about you to get you back.
Oh, what did he tell you? What did he tell you?
Even I can't believe it.
What did he tell you?
He says, that's it. I've kept this in long enough. Robin's getting me mad.
What?
No, it's it.
He said he went over to your apartment. He says, in your living room hangs a picture of you. That is as big as the wall. It is a giant size picture. Picture of Rob.
Wall. As big as the wall. It's not even like an 8x10. It's as big as the wall. Could you imagine the narcissism of Robin?
Well, first of all, the cost of framing, and the bigger the friggin' photo, the more it costs. And to get these, and to get the like super large prints, it's massively expensive. Normal people can't afford to do this.
And think about this. She had to hire a photographer to just do a photo shoot for this.
Of course.
What is this for? Is this for a magazine? No, it's for my house.
Okay, now, real question is, how many proofs do you think she went through before she selected it?
If you listen to this show and you happen to be the unlucky photographer that had to deal with her bullshit that day with Robin's head in the clouds, fuck.
34 proofs.
My God. Please.
Robin.
Send in those proofs.
Oh, I'd love to see them. I'd love to see the rejected pile.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. But in the living room.
It's not in the living room.
You're worse than Larry King.
It is not
well, technically, Gary says it's in the foyer, but believe me, it's in the living room.
If it's in the foyer, that means as soon as you come in, you see it.
I can't imagine hiring somebody to do this and it's for nothing. So it's not going to be seen. So as a photographer, you must be thinking, maybe this is a break for me or something. I'm shooting a celebrity. No, this is just a narcissism exercise.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's in the dining room.
Which is connected.
Come on, your dining room is your living room.
Oh my God.
It's a little...
So while you're eating, that's what you see.
Wait a minute.
So, okay, hold on. This is...
I didn't realize. I forgot. It's in the dining room.
Okay, now listen. So here's your options. You can, if you sit on one side and Robin's on the other side and the painting is behind you, you are sandwiched by Robin. Okay.
You're looking, can you please pass the green beans? And I'm turning my head and there's you again.
And if you're the painting is behind you and Robin's in front of you, again, you'll say, sorry, if Robin's on the same side as the painting, you're looking at like 3D Robin.
And artwork, especially in dinner spaces, are always a topic of conversation. I have these two like sketches in like this big bronze frame. They're very big on either side of my window in my dining room. And I have like this antique hutch and some other piece of artwork, like statue, something, whatever. Anyways, the point is that every time somebody eats at my house, they're always like, oh, I really love those frames, or I love that drawing. Right. Every fucking time. Could you imagine if they're like, that's a nice blown up life-size picture of yourself?
No, the question, I can't remember exactly. They're going to describe it, but I can't remember if it was her like riding Blaze or if it was just her, in some boudoir looking sexy or something. I have no idea, but
let's hope it's the latter. I don't want to see. I don't want to know.
Yeah.
That.
You have to turn.
If there's no wall separating the two, I say it's a living room.
No.
It lives with you in the living room.
You have to turn a corner to see that picture. You can't just walk into the living room and see
And it's in a giant frame with like
Like, what is it, jewelry? Like all of the...
It's pretty ornate, the frame, isn't it? Isn't it like one of those, it's like a gold lame sort of...
No, it's not a gold lame.
It's a gold lame frame.
It's not gold at all.
It's Citizen Quivers hanging on the wall. It's like me.
Robin, how big is that picture?
You think so?
Yeah, because he started laughing before it even was said.
Okay, well, I mean, it makes perfect sense. Howard's not smart enough to... When's the last time he made a Citizen Kane reference in the show ever?
He doesn't watch good movies.
No, he doesn't. Fuck. He watches Kissing Booth, the full series.
How big? Is it? What are the dimensions?
I admit that is a mistake.
All right, you got to take that down. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed.
Not taking it down.
You're out of control.
Used to it now.
No, you're out of control.
I like it now.
Why did you do that?
It was an accident.
It's me.
Yeah, what? I accidentally hired a photographer to take a picture of myself and told him to put it to scale. The scale was the size of a wall, and then I had it framed.
Oh my God! Yeah, I tripped into the photo studio and stayed there for 2 hours while he got my mug 1,000 different ways. One thing I wanted to ask you was didn't we cover in, I think, hold on, it was the Iron Man Mask Saga. And didn't he say he's got all books about himself? Like all of his books are in his bookcase?
He was shooting a video for John and said he was going to send it to him and to show where the helmet was. And in that room where the helmet was just all books about him. And he was a little apprehensive about sending it because he's like, oh, I just didn't, it's all books about me.
Right. And oh, I forgot. And quotes from the Bible, not the whole Bible, just like, the greatest hits or something.
Stop it. Let me tell you how the whole thing went.
Is it a painting or a photo?
No, it's a photo.
If you want to hang it in the office, fine.
No.
No, in the office, she has 3 pictures of herself.
I can't. This is the dining room.
Look, here's what happened. I had a picture taken that I really liked.
Yeah.
And when I went home to visit my family, they had all these awful pictures of me. And I said, please take them all down. I'll get you another picture.
Now, was this a commissioned photo?
No, it was one of the shots that was taken when I was having a publicity photo made.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, so you had a picture. So maybe it wasn't
promo shot.
Yeah, but it's okay. So now I see. I thought it was her just saying like, I want pictures done for this specific thing. But now I get it. It was a promotional shot. But that even that's weird. So you like a picture from your promo shoot and you decide to blow it up and put it on your wall?
Honestly, like even the picture for the book cover, Quivers of Life, is such a shitty choice. It looks awful.
Oh, it's terrible. I wonder though. Why then, if you're getting this made for your family, does it end up on your wall?
Well, yeah.
I mean,
did you happen to have an extra wall-sized photo for yourself?
I mean, everybody's family has embarrassing pictures of them, from awkward phases of their life around somewhere. You know, I'm sure her family, the one that molested her, who keeps pictures up of her, sounds like a real molesty family, if you ask me.
I was going to say, well, the other thing is like what it really is, and this is just my conjecture. As a narcissist, you're like that. That false self of you can't be the false self you have of yourself. The image. Sorry, I'm not as articulate as I should be today. It can't be punctured by the past, which is exactly what's going to happen when you see Air Force Robin, when you see Robin, sitting at a deck chair looking like, fucking Le Grand Bleu, coming out of the water. It's not going to, and also, and yes, and then you add the normal reaction most people have to their younger photos, although I don't have that. I don't either. There's slices of time. What are you going to do about it? That's what you looked like. Wake up.
I know. I don't care one way or the other. I think that she probably sees photos of her with family members that she probably hasn't talked to in decades either when she goes over there. Yeah. And so you're right. I erased this identity, mom and dad.
Yeah.
You should have erased this too. Here's this.
Yeah. Here's the correction.
Here's the inflated sense of self picture.
Yeah.
Please take all those pictures down. I'll get you another picture.
You're out of control. You know that.
No, stop it.
All right, go ahead.
This was an accident.
How big is it?
Hey, what is that? What about that marble sculpture of Robin in the lobby of a building?
And the
glass coffee table
Yeah.
that's carved in my image.
Yes.
But anyway.
You know, you know what I said? This woman loves herself. I said, like, no one on the show loves herself. You love yourself.
I don't love myself as much as you love yourself.
No, you love yourself.
No,
okay, Robin.
As much.
Yeah, it's true.
This is the dually narcissists. They see each other. And it's funny that they both get a kick out of one another calling it out. Sometimes it crosses the line where it bothers the other, where Howard bothers Robin or Robin bothers Howard when they poke too hard, or in a spot that just they really don't want to be pricked. But when they are at their best and nailing each other in the narcissism, it's really funny.
Yeah, well, I mean, we talked a little bit about this. What would two narcissists do if they ran into each other? They probably. So I think we read that you probably let your hair down because you've sussed each other out immediately, and you can just kind of go about your day, with the false selves, knowing that you're both bullshitting each other.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's fine. Like it's like North magnet, South magnet. You're fine. It's just going to be it's a perfect match.
Well, they also are a layer of protection for one another in most instances.
Yeah, but then when they want to, for their own purposes, in this case, getting back at someone or mocking someone or whatever, then they could easily turn it on, and hence why she can laugh at him having a private weather person.
Yes, exactly.
For example.
Much as you.
Okay.
But anyway.
You know what? I'm having a picture commission for my living room.
You just be quiet.
All right, go ahead, yes.
Because
how big is it? Would you give me the dimensions?
Tell you the story.
All right, go ahead.
So anyway, I promised my parents this picture. And I was sitting in Peggy's office one day, and I said, Peggy, can you help me? I need this picture blown up.
Yeah.
And I want it to be something, I couldn't remember the dimensions of something that's a little bit bigger than an 8x10.
Okay.
Which is, what I wanted was an 11x14. No.
What? It's like a small child.
So instead you say big enough to cover the wall.
No. What I said, she had a poster hanging on her wall.
Right.
And I said about as big as that because in her office, that's what it looked like.
It looked normal.
It looked like a normal size.
Gary's not buying this.
So it's like the size of an Athena poster. Those things take up an entire door.
Again, also, Robin, every time I think about when she does things like measurements or size, like, weren't you a nurse? Didn't you regularly have to measure people or take estimates of things? Or, she should be able to kind of quantify something in her head just by looking at it based on her job.
Well, I mean, it's hard for her to the tape measure doesn't fit around her. So maybe the problem is just not understanding, just being a fucking dumbass about everything. I mean, she couldn't figure out that she was owing the government money, the military.
I totally understand, though, when you're looking at something that looks really cool, let's say at a restaurant,
right,
and it's on a big wall and you want something for your house. Well, the dimensions are going to be vastly different.
Oh, certainly.
So that it looks like a monstrous thing in your house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But again, though, why did this have to end up on your wall?
Well, the modern analog would be like a TV. You got to get a TV that fits the room, not the biggest one possible for the wall, because it's actually an eyesore. You can't get close to it. You have to get really far away.
I hated when people had that.
Oh, big TVs to me are the bane of my existence. I like a nice 30 inches maybe is fine, like plenty from wherever it is in the room. And if sometimes it's even too big for me. A computer monitor is big, like a 24-inch screen is all I need. I really don't need anything more massive. It depends on the size of the room.
Rick likes big TVs, and I made him put the big one. He wanted it in a living room, and I said no. And I'm like, that's going in your fucking room. If you like that, it's going in your area. Your area. I can't do this. Like, this is just terrible.
Yeah, it's just too much.
Picture came back. I swear, I opened it up.
Yes.
And I thought, oh my God, that's frightening.
It's huge.
But I had 2 of them done because I really like this picture.
Right.
But it was huge. It looks like one of the billboards they use in Atlantic City when they say
Oh
Joan
my
Rivers is coming.
God.
That's how big it is.
So it's not 11 by whatever 17. It's got to be, I don't know.
An Atlantic City billboard.
Yeah, right. Fuck. Wall
girls.
Yeah.
So then how did it end up on the wall in your living room?
Well, I took it to a company that frames, and I
Right.
said, I want these pictures framed.
Yes.
And I had frames made for one for my parents, one for me, and I sent theirs off and I kept mine.
But again, you chose to get yours. You didn't have to make both of them. You could have said, no, just do one, or get them resized and get those framed because you had more than enough disposable income for it, stupid.
Here, I want to remind my father that molested me of myself. So here's a huge billboard of myself. You're welcome, Mom and Dad. Why would you get yourself one?
Yeah, I'm not quite getting how that, still makes it up on her wall.
And how is this an accident? How is this an accident?
Well, because it can't be her responsibility. Remember the book? Everything's like, oh, I found myself, I was drawn to, I had no control.
Hang it.
Yeah.
We gotta have it, Howard.
I gotta get that picture. I gotta go over to the apartment and get pictures of it in the apartment. We have to have that. We're gonna steal
what we
it.
gotta do? We gotta take a picture of it in her apartment, but blow that picture.
Yeah, blow that up wall
right
side. That's right. All right, we're coming in with a photographer today.
It was tough getting used to it, but now I've gotten used to it, and I hid it over in a corner. You have to really walk around to see it. You don't just walk in my office and get slapped.
Gary says when you walk in, it's like
that is
me.
not the case.
Hello.
Robin,
I see that picture just walking in.
do you have
my
one of those
house.
little special fluorescent lights that hangs
It is
over
lit.
it? With its own,
Is it lit?
No.
Gary,
Like at the museum, like at the Metropolitan Museum. Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Gary said it was
all
lit.
those lights.
Yeah, most of them do anyway. Nowadays, have you at the Louvre? The Mona Lisa is so underwhelming when you go see it because it's just, it's just like it's just mass. It's first of all, it's heavily security, but then there's always people with like cell phones and whatever trying to get pictures of it and putting their hands up, and it's just the smallest thing ever. And it's a print. It's painted on wood, first of all, and it's not that large, and it's actually the most unimpressive thing about the fucking Louvre. But the lighting is not like that anymore. That's really old museum style lighting. That's like your library. That's the kind of shit.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh fucking hell! That's amazing.
No, I said it should have been. It deserved one of those museum lights that bends over.
I admit
gotta
it's
take it
funny.
down.
It's a funny thing.
Take it down.
I'm not taking it down.
Yeah, my cartoons are funny too.
Yeah. You got to take that down.
I'm not taking
I'm
it
embarrassed
down.
for you.
I am not taking
It's
it down.
it's way too much.
I'll tell you one thing, though.
Yeah.
If you walk into my parents' house, it is in the living room, and you can't miss it.
Really? This is our daughter.
Oh my God.
How big is the one of their son?
And this just flies in the face of everything Robin says about our parents being awful. If they're awful parents, they're not hanging a life-size billboard of you in their house.
If they did all these things, I know they say, well, she forgave them. So yeah, forgive for nothing. Why are you doing anything for them if they were so horrible to you?
They're not going to want reminders of their horrible actions by hanging an Atlantic City poster on their wall.
Yeah, coming soon.
At least the stupid pictures in my house, there's other people in them and stuff. You know what I mean?
Listen, you're not much better.
I'm not saying I'm any better.
Jackie's entire walls are like filled with anything with Jackie.
And the pictures you're in this the other people, nobody knows them.
Yeah.
Well, no, the best picture Jackie
all bad comedians standing next to Jackie.
I didn't pay to have them taken.
Well, there's that.
But Jackie's house is kind of like a weird fun house.
Mm-hmm.
The vibe of it, I just think that sort of hanging of pictures would go. You would expect that when you go to Jackie's.
Well, Dice Clay in his book has pictures of every celebrity he's met, including and then himself in the photo as well. Just like they take a picture of us. I don't have a problem with that. But because what are you going to do? Take a picture of the celebrity and you not be in it? I mean,
I know it's weird.
But at the same time, I could see why people would think, "Oh God, you're trying to, you're showing off or whatever." No, it's just if you're proud of these pictures and it's even if it's a famous person, it may not be that. It's just look where I've been in my life.
And it's got to make for good conversations when other people come over your house and say, "Oh my God, you met so and so. What was he like? What was she like?"
Yeah.
The picture Jackie has is the one where it's a
With
whole
his
bunch
wife naked?
No, it's a whole bunch of guys on
Yeah,
stage.
yeah.
And then Jackie has to sort of pull it out of the frame so you could see about a third of Eddie Murphy.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Jackie goes, no, I have proof I know Eddie Murphy.
This is a picture of me and Eddie Murphy.
And Eddie is like, obviously Jackie's so full of himself. When he was standing next to Eddie Murphy, he had to have mostly him, because this is before Eddie was famous.
No, I mean, there's about 50 people, and then Eddie's almost cut out of the picture, is what it is.
I think Eddie ran out of the picture.
Trying to avoid.
So there's like a quarter. There's a quarter of Eddie.
You see a black dot. You
Yeah.
goes, that's Eddie Murphy.
Get out of my light, Eddie.
Let's not lose focus here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, just put that spotlight back on me. I'll fix you, Gary.
Seriously, you're not embarrassed when people come to the house and they see that junk?
You can't see it unless you walk into that.
Gary, is that true? I've been in your house. I've been in your apartment, Robin. The dining room is opened into the living room.
No, you can't. Look, I'm saying if you just walk into the living room, if you only stood in my living room, you could
Yeah.
never see that picture.
Robin is correct on that count. However,
Here's Stuttering John.
However,
yes.
Kathy and I went over because Robin and I, we were all going to see Richard Pryor.
Right.
And she said, why don't you guys wait here? So, of course, you...
Wait a minute. I didn't direct you there.
No. But if you're in the living room and somebody's not monitoring you...
Sounds like it dominates the entire floor. Is what it sounds like.
I've been in Robin's apartment, and you can't not see it.
Yes. And what sense does that make? So if somebody moves a little bit slightly to the left and 3 feet over, it's right in there. You know what I'm saying? Robin has to, corral you into just a certain section?
If you just move slightly and you see a piece of the picture, it's too big. I mean, if you like, most pictures are the type of, if it's a wall, you see all the frames first and then the light changes and then all of a sudden the perspective changes. You go, oh, that's so-and-so, whatever. But they're small enough that you really kind of have to walk up to them to see them properly. And something like a billboard size, coming soon to, to theaters near you, if it's that size, then it's absolutely going to catch your eye somewhere. When you're standing over here, you're looking at something else, you're flicking your cigarette out and whatever, and it'll say, well, what the fuck's that over there? And you just see a hand, right? And then you go, I want to go see this.
She's not embarrassed by it either. She's pretending she is, but she's just said, I'm not getting rid of it. I mean, so she likes this.
She loves it, of course. Fuck.
Stop lying. You have never.
Like I said, if there's not a wall separating the living room and the dining room, it's the same room.
Yeah.
It's an alcove.
Look, if you have to walk around a corner to see the picture, is that the living room?
What difference does it make? And I think it's worse that it's in the dining room.
or that it's in the room connecting them. Like while you're on the way, just enjoy me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you're going from the dining room to the living room or the living room to the dining room, me.
Have you seen, this is a personal question. Have you ever seen anything close to what they're describing in a friend's house? You don't say the name, but All
right. So this girl I worked with when I lived in Arizona invited me to her house to hang out after work, and we were going to drink some wine and do karaoke at her house. So just whatever, it was fun. And she has a husband too. I don't know where he was that night. I can't remember. Anyways, I go over there and she's showing me around her house, and we go into this office room, and the entire wall was taken up by a canvas of her, and I could see her breasts. It's in a sheer top, and she had implants and a bikini bottom, and she's like making sensual hands through her hair. Okay. And it was humongous. It was the biggest picture I've ever seen blown up. And I was shocked for a second. She's like, oh yeah, that was taken on my honeymoon. I go, oh wow. That's pretty. I mean, it's wet nipple and it looks like a full-on Playboy shoot. And, it's fun. I don't know what to say. Nice pic.
Nice tits.
I guess. I just thought it was a little strange for a home.
Well, if it's a room no one's going to go in, okay, I suppose. But again, still a little too narcissistic.
You think? It was an entire wall, Fillmore.
Yeah, I know. I mean, but and even if it's a good picture, maybe put it in an album somewhere. I don't know.
Or maybe in your, I don't know, your bedroom, master bathroom that nobody goes in.
Yeah.
And it's a smaller version. I'm not a prude, but I just think that's insane.
Yeah, I've not seen anything like that. And if you see pictures, it's hard, but there are odd pictures of Howard's. I think it's the Hampton. I don't know if it's the Hamptons house or if it's the Florida house, but there's a huge, massive picture that famous, the infamous one with Beth in the fucking slut wedding dress, just her. That's a massive picture. Then there's a smaller one, I think, of the two of them married on the marriage wedding day. But my favorite from that whole fucking thing is her getting ushered into the limo, trashed as fuck. That's the one that should have blown up. That's one of my favorite pictures of all time.
You know what's weird too about that picture of my friend is she said, "Oh yeah, I gave that to Shay as a wedding present," and I was like, "So you gave?" And I obviously didn't say this, but I was thinking in my head, "So you gave him like a gigantic poster billboard of yourself, and it's going to go in your new home that everybody, when they tour your house, is going to see, just like I am." I mean, what? I don't know.
One couple I met ages ago, I remember going to their house, and this is when I was still single, like really just arrived in Asia, and they were Greek, and they invited me over. There were not too many Greeks around. That's the whole point. And I was looking through one of their, the flip albums, which is like hand size, right? 4 by 6.
My parents have a lot of those in their house.
They used to be really trendy. I don't think they are anymore. Anyway,
no.
And I mean, they scream 1996, right? Yeah, right. Right. So, like one match could set the entire thing on fire. You'd lose it all in a second. There's that much plastic on it.
It's a total fire hazard.
Those binder hoops, those big rings.
Oh my God.
They're the only things that would survive.
Some of them, like, the glue, like the binding, that's those ones. But then the ones you're talking about, my parents have those too. And it's just comical. Yeah.
Well, anyway, so I'm flipping through them. And then there's pictures of them, I think it must be on one of the islands in Greece on the beach. And then I turn up one of them, and it's a picture of her topless lying down on the beach, like, but full frontal, whatever. And I'm going, that was one of the most awkward, like, and I had to like flip through it quickly, like, not that she didn't have a great set, but I'm like, why would you put that in like a thing that you're going to show people? And it's obviously, is it narcissism? Is it just being that free that you don't care, not an exhibitionist, but just being so laissez-faire that it's not a big deal? Because most people I know would keep that private.
Like, I mean, for example, when I was in high school and college, my photo albums were filled with like partying pictures and friends on the toilet and beer cans and whatever. Right. And that was fine when I was that age and they were in my room. And my friends, sometimes when they come over, they'd flip through them and we'd laugh at memories or something.
Of course.
That didn't last longer than maybe till I was 21, 22, Right. Those are packed in a box somewhere now where I hope Mia never looks at them.
But you still want them for the nostalgia purposes, I guess, on some level.
Yeah. When my friend Christine comes into town, we look through them. They're funny. Yeah. But again, this is all just not my taste.
No.
Well, all I know is while you were in the bedroom getting ready, Kathy and Gary are nudging each other and looking at this picture.
That's the last time you get to come to my house.
Yeah. Robin is technically correct, but morally wrong about the...
He was sitting at the dining room table when he saw it.
All right. You have guests for dining room pleasures?
It's somebody I know very well, and they already know that there's this laughable picture there. Yeah.
All right. Take it down. Bring it in the office. We'll hang it in the office.
No, because it's as big as that thing you...
I gotta know what Mr. X thinks about this.
Oh, God. Fuck. Well, he was he was a take charge kind of person, but I'm sure he didn't give two fucks about it. He's like, well, that's Robin,
I hope he ribbed her for this. Like, I really hope he gave her a teasing of her life.
Well, listen, if I went in there, let's say I didn't even know who the fuck Robin was, there'd be massive eye rolls, and my wife would catch every one of them.
One time when I first started dating Rick, he took like a picture from my Instagram that he liked and he blew it up to put in his room. And I saw it and I immediately said, get that down. I was like, are you insane? I go, that belongs in your closet and you can look at it when you feel like it, but I never want to see that again. It's so embarrassing. Like, I get it. You love me. You are not blowing me up and putting it on your wall. No.
Yeah. Because when you say blow up, how big?
I mean, it was like probably, it's bigger than 8 by 10. That's all I know.
Okay,
it was too big.
Yeah.
And I was horrified. I did not like it. I wanted it in the closet, and I never want to see that again.
That's great.
And the one I won't hang in my office? That's as big as that?
It's as big as one of those things back there.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
How do you make a mistake like that? Well, I think
Because
I'm
I
11
did-
by 14 or 4 feet by 7 feet. Hey, come on.
Make it as big as the World Trade Center.
I really think that I should put a sign that says "now appearing."
Yeah. It's a joke.
God. She's not kidding.
No.
This is a mistake. Let me put it in an expensive
It is a
frame.
good picture.
It's a wonderful.
It's like the best picture of you ever taken, right?
Yeah.
And you got the cleavage. Is that the one with the
No, I
scoop
got
neck?
the cleavage cut out. It's not that one.
Oh.
It's not the same.
No
picture
cleavage
that's
on that?
used For the,
It's not the same.
I love that there are multiple headshots.
This is ridiculous.
Well,
So
like
wait,
different
so if
ones.
it's not cleavage, then what is this? Is it just a giant robin head?
Well, it's from 1993, and I'm trying to think. Going back, okay, Private Parts. The book had just come out, and it wouldn't. But you got to think of what she looks like. Does she have the dreads? I think at that point, not dreads, but the extensions. They've got to be extensions.
Yeah. So you think for Howard's Private Parts, like he photoshopped his head on a body, right?
Of course, multiple times for different posters too.
Okay, because I saw that book picture. There's no way.
No, there was more. Pardon the expression. There was more meat on the body than he would normally have.
And that was. I remember my uncles had copies of that book in their house, and it was on their coffee table or something. And I remember seeing it when I was young, and kind of flipping through it, thumbing through it. But the cover, I always got the distinct impression from my father that he was a scrawny, and seeing him on television appearances, I never understood like the image and what I knew of him never translated. Like that picture just never translated for me. Like, where did that body come from? Yeah, exactly. That was the picture. And I just thought to myself, where is this person? When did this happen? Because he never looked like that.
Now, if it is him, the only thing I'll say is they airbrushed abs on him and they gave him a chest. I don't believe that. I believe that, like, you could see the color of his head. We talked about this before.
The neck.
The color of his neck going into the body. That makes no sense. Why would your face be totally white but your chest tanned? Unless someone put a bag over your head while you were at the beach. No way.
The only thing I could think of is, how in bodybuilders they put that bronzing oil crap on you. So maybe he decided to do that to give it more of a definition in the photograph, and then just didn't do it to his face. But I don't know. I doubt it. And that doesn't. Let me really look at that. Zoom in on that.
Hold on.
Okay. Look at the obliques.
Yeah.
Look at his obliques. I've never seen him have. First of all, his body always looks concave.
Yes.
It never looks stacked. That is stacked. Look at the obliques on that fucking body. That's not him.
Well, the arms don't have definition. I think they photoshopped this chest area and they put that there.
Oh
and
my God. Look at the arms. You're right.
Right. The arms don't have much there. The legs, okay, possibly, it could be, but I don't think so. I think they're shorter than his would be. And they're also wider. Like the thighs are wider than what he'd have. He looks like Joey Ramone. There's no two ways about it. Where's the photo? Okay, there it is. And that's been featured a lot of places. His arms are twigs in 1993. Okay. There's nothing to his arms. You go to that Private Parts, that's not him. And also look at his skin here. It's white as shit.
It's
same
white.
Chain.
I can't tell though with that vest, so that's not a good example. Give me something from the 90s, like
him walking or something like that. Okay, here he's in baggy clothing. That's not going to help.
Just do like Howard Stern in the pirate shirt or something. I mean, what does he wear that's tight? He's had to have worn something tight.
He's reedy as fuck.
So I agree with you that I think that the arms might have been real though, and maybe they with Photoshop just puffed up the bicep area.
With
you know
his
what
arms,
I'm saying?
No, with his arms, I know exactly what they did. All they did was if you see his arms are like this, they're at his side tight, and he does that, so he made his arms like just kind of fatter by pushing them away.
I don't have this problem, but like girls used to have to do this when they want to look like they have like
cleavage.
boobs.
Yeah, like you hold your boobs together by your arms, right? Exactly, and then boom, there you go.
It's a Frankenstein photograph, and nobody really was aware of those kind of tactics. They knew of like, you know, we're going to remove cellulite or dimples or make this look a little bit sucked in and shave a little bit off the abdomen type thing. But I don't think people realize the extent of faking.
Well, listen, we just got hold on, let me get this thing. Baldwin reality show TLC. That was photoshopped. That entire thing was photoshopped. Every kid, again, let's get it. People, is that big enough? Okay, perfect.
Oh my God.
Where is the actual photo? Okay, let's go right there. So every kid, there's no way they got every kid to pose like that. There's just no way. She's photoshopped. There's a separation. The kid here, that's a different quality photo than her. It's also, there's been work done on the photo. The backdrop obviously is just fake.
Look at the little girl with the fake filtered eyeliner.
Everything about it. Like, and there's also like there's a what do you call it? A pixel. There's a pixel problem you could see with Hilarious and his. They're all. I think they were.
Oh, this is a horrible picture.
I think what they did, they filmed them and then took the stills that they needed, and then photoshopped the person out of the still, and then inserted them all here.
Same one as your press photo?
No.
It was from the same session. It's
from the same
very
session.
similar.
Photo. Do you think if people stand outside your building and through the window, they can see the giant picture?
I think she's home.
There you go. Nobody.
She's home. Like Home Alone. when Kevin McAllister has the rocking around the Christmas tree, and robbers are looking in the window and he's got Shaq.
Oh man.
They're empty. Hey, leave it there for the cats so they don't have to miss me.
I got to go there and draw a mustache on that thing. I swear to God, let me over there today. I'm coming by.
Glass over it so you can't get to it.
Oh, I'll get to it. Glass, the Mona Lisa. It's protected. There's a guard in front of it. You'll never get to it.
It's graffiti proof.
Teflon cover.
Maybe they could take a soup can and throw it against it.
Oh, fuck.
All right, I got to take a break.
One of those things that's got the right humidity.
Yeah. Oh, my God, I went to draw a mustache on the...
Climate controlled to protect us from the elements.
The picture.
There you go. It's alarm.
All right, thank you. I have to take a break
That's
here.
it, Gary. I'm breaking both your legs.
You know, Robin hasn't been talking to her parents for 20 years. The first thing she gives them is a giant picture of herself. Here. Look at me.
No, where did the 20 years of not talking to them come in? Because they used to call into the show.
There's the clips that we have of them on the show all come from, I think, after this.
Right,
So
I know, but they're saying Howard just said she hasn't talked to her parents for the last 20 years. That's not true.
No, it's not true. That's an exaggeration. What it was every now and whenever she needed money, she fucking got a hold of them, or whenever she needed to go back. And so, yeah, that's nonsense. And keep in mind, if this is 1993, 20 years earlier, what are you talking, 1973? No,
right.
She was crutching on them until she finally went through the, School of Broadcasting in Baltimore.
I mean, it's even in her book that she went back to wallow and act like a fucking spoiled teenager that needed her ass wiped, basically.
Yeah, he just doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
No,
I've done well.
I'm beautiful. All right, have fun at my expense.
So how big is it? I want exact
Me
measurements.
one of these days.
Oh. Someone told me for Christmas you're going to give them wallet-sized pictures.
Jackie. God, I miss this show.
It's the fucking every parent back in the day used to have those pullouts from their wallet, and they'd have and then they'd keep them in there forever. So you'll still see people with pictures of their kids from 30, 40 years ago in those wallets that they never throw out, and that is fucking hilarious.
Oh fuck.
I got to see what's going on over there. Are there other pictures on the wall?
Actually, Robin has a lot of pictures. She took some pictures that she took in France.
Yeah.
She had them blown up to the size that her picture probably should have been.
Right.
And those are framed in around the apartment. Those are really nice.
Oh,
but
I see.
in that particular section.
In other words, Robin's personal photography.
Right. But, but in that
Wait a minute.
particular section,
she doesn't
What?
So not only does she have the life-size one, but her traipsing around France is on the wall.
No, pictures of whatever she took of France, like pictures of buildings or, structures or cafes and stuff like that. Yeah, no, not her. Not here's me in front of the Eiffel Tower. Here's me, like all of a sudden it's flat Robin.
That's very nuts and sad if that were the case.
What if it was just her in front of stuff?
Yes.
Well, a friend of mine years ago said, like it was early photo days, and he goes, where I was just going to take a picture of, I don't know, some building in Hong Kong, and he goes, why don't you stand there? Otherwise it's just a fucking building. And I go, but that's what I want. Like I just want to get a set. I want to capture what my eye sees, and that's the whole
agree.
point.
I like shooting pictures of architecture too. I do it all the time,
Mm-hmm.
but I guess if I was somewhere and I wanted a memory of being there, I totally understand that. But would I want that memory all over my house? No.
No, not necessarily.
Enjoy other artists. It's their own work.
I think we would agree that is the only picture in that section of the house.
I see.
It dominates.
And rightly so. Rightly so. Listen, you're pretty special.
The quiver swing.
Exactly, though. What would you put beside it? That's the whole point is what is going, if you have that big of a portrait hanging in any area of your house, how are you hanging anything else around it? What are you putting there? Floral pictures?
No, you're not. You need two spotlights on it, like from either ends, like the Fox, 20th Century Fox, little light towers. You got it. And I've been trying desperately to make a mock-up of that for a Photoshop for a future episode, and I can't do it. But
the drums and everything, it's so good. It's so iconic. It's so iconic. There's certain memories of sounds of openings of television shows or like networks and stuff. And when I hear it, it's just nostalgic trigger like no other.
Me too. Station IDs are my favorite. The CBC had one called an exploding pizza, which was the logo, but it's red, orange, and yellow, and it's very bright and vibrant, but clearly 70s inspired. And I love it. And when I have a couple T-shirts with it, what's that?
Yeah.
The Quivers Memorial Dining Room.
Wow.
It looks like the kind of picture you hang up.
Is my telescope still there?
Yes.
Is the telescope aimed at the picture, or is it?
It's like the kind of picture you hang up when somebody dies.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yes. You know that when wakes happen, and sometimes people have big photographs. A lot of people do collages. Like my family did when my cousin passed away, tons of family collages. No giant picture. But I have been to wakes where there have been big blown up pictures of them.
Typically, I've seen them. They're fairly large, but then there's a whole bunch of little photos scattered around the frame, like all around it, like different pictures, but a portrait in the center, which is pretty typical, I would say.
Yeah, the Robin Mausoleum.
Yeah.
Like if you had a sister that died.
I should put bunting around it.
Right. Bunting.
Oh, my God.
Hey, listen, why not? You worked hard. You got a nice picture there. You hang it up. That's all. All right, very good.
It was a big mistake.
Maybe.
It's not. I thought it was an accident, Robin.
Right. I tripped into the fucking photo studio and had them accidentally gave them my credit card to pay for it.
And then accidentally walked to a framer's.
Yeah, and accidentally had it shipped and brought over and installed.
And made 2 copies.
Do you think they have to take a window out to get it into the house?
We're gonna need a contractor.
You just see one of those those machines that when it's a multi-floor place, they have to lower stuff through the window, so they have that.
Yes.
It's just climbing up, and they're removing it. And they have to. They can't get up the stairs with it. It's that big.
Right. Yeah. They're gonna have to write the HOA board to see if they can install it. It's so nuts.
Do you have to get permits? Like putting in a pond.
It was a mistake that went wild.
Jackie just said, I don't understand how the mistake got framed.
Yeah, like why would you frame a mistake and hang it on your wall?
Because it was a beautiful picture.
All right.
And I wanted to keep it, and it was that size.
And when you look at it, you feel good.
It's a nice picture. I like it. Yeah. And who else is there but me? It's not like I mean,
can I just ask a question?
Else.
What about, geez, this is a nice picture, but it's too big. Could you make me one half the size?
Mr. Decorator
just a
over
question.
there.
Yeah.
Just a question.
Well, that's a legitimate question,
What was
Robin.
the question? I was
The question
too busy
was
yelling.
you're too busy defending yourself.
Immediately.
Too busy to try to drown out this conversation.
What's that?
And she's already with the defense, but she doesn't even know what's said because narcissists don't listen. Much like we just covered this episode about Howard and that guy who he mistaken the name Dan Mason.
Dan Mason. Fuck.
And without even missing a beat, it's just already on the defense.
Yeah.
You know, they don't hear. I mean, it doesn't even occur to them to listen.
Well, no, you just imagine slight or here it's perceived slight or real slight. Doesn't matter. But it doesn't matter because in their minds, both are like it's real no matter what.
Right. And if Jackie's mouth is moving, it must not be good for me. So I'm already on the attack mode.
Yeah, it's like Pavlovian. Like she knows.
Yes,
it. So, and the other thing is she's defending herself and it's in an indefensible position.
Exactly. And she already starts off on a shaky ground by saying it's an accident.
This is no different than the Cleveland book signing when she had to walk out. Like, hey, we had her nailed. She watched Street Fighter and ate ice cream before the thing. Didn't get herself ready until whenever. Checkout was delayed. All this other bullshit.
Well, the worst was the preamble about the airport and deciding to leave.
An hour.
Not even Fillmore.
Yeah.
Conversation.
The cats like it.
But no,
What?
why not say, hey, I made a mistake making it this big. Maybe I'll save it. Maybe if they ask for a charity thing or something, maybe I'll save it for that.
Give that away?
Or I'll, you couldn't part with that.
Yeah.
And then say, hey, I'll make a smaller size, even though, I like to look at myself, but I'll make a smaller size. And, put it somewhere like maybe
I
in the
didn't
bedroom.
spend a lot of time thinking about it. I had a plan. I carried it.
How long's it been hanging?
Oh God, that thing was probably like Patton's decision whether to invade Sicily or fucking, like that sounds like that plan was well established.
I just am now thinking of General Patton's big speech.
Yeah. Now it's going to go into the foyer. This is a 6-man crew.
This is going to be hard.
Yeah.
But I just think, Robin, though, again, why didn't you make it smaller? Exactly. You could have just said, whoa, this is way too big, but not for my ego. My ego is the size of this. And like he said, it was a good idea to say, okay, this was too big. I'm going to give this to charity. I'm going to sign it. Yeah. We're going to auction it off.
Yeah,
and then the proceeds are going to go to, I don't know what at the time was happening, the Oklahoma City bombing. Who knows? You know what I mean? No, it's got us hang in my fucking dining room.
I'm trying to think, what kind of money would you raise with that photo? Although, in the height of sterndom, you probably make a lot. Yeah.
You would.
If she signed it and,
or
was framed.
if you bought a raffle ticket for it. Like if you did, if you were at a book signing and that was being as a prize for somebody and it was $2 for a ticket and there's a few hundred people in line, why not? And then the money goes to whatever local charity she was at, whatever city.
Yeah.
Well, that's too nice, though. What kind of nice thought is that?
She should have donated it to shock trauma in Maryland, where she was a nurse. Here you go.
How long has it been on display?
About, I don't know.
Say good morning.
Maybe a year.
A year?
Do you say good morning to it?
This is so good, Phil. I'm so glad you picked this. I'm having so much fun.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Did you hang it yourself or did you have someone come in?
Someone came in to hang it.
Professional.
Were they giggling?
Were they giggling?
We had to level it. Right over here?
Yeah. We had to move the table out. Yeah.
Oh, have fun, Jack.
What's that?
Don't sit on my teeny tiny furniture. I have this person named Benji who has broke it.
Oh, that was Ganji, but that's the same heft.
Jackie's no one to talk. The whole
back
house.
to your old Adobe Hacienda.
Yeah. Jackie would have pictures of himself hanging all over the wall if they weren't washed away.
Me. At least I don't have that.
All right, here's a funny Jackie story. Dominic tells me he was over Jackie's.
Yes.
And Jackie, after his big flood, all his pictures that Jackie hung like maybe 10 million pictures in his house of himself. Mm-hmm. So all the pictures hanging
Yeah,
himself.
I've got one big one. He's got 10 million.
So Jackie takes all his pictures of himself out into the backyard, takes them out of the frames because they're all soaking wet, and hangs them up on a wire, like like you hang laundry,
like a clothesline.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, it's not narcissistic to have 10 million 4x6s. It's extremely narcissistic to have one the size of fucking Kentucky hanging in your wall. There's nothing narcissistic about having a million, like even 10,000, let's say, 4x6s. But there's something extremely narcissistic about having a blown up picture of yourself, only yourself, in your fucking wall. It's night and day. Jackie's not narcissistic. He's an archivist. He's just keeping the stuff in his life. He sent you and me both, like, I think, photos of his notes signed by various people and stuff. It was amazing. You know, that I would save those.
You'll be glad to have it. I have all sorts of diaries in each year of high school. I have a box at my parents' house where I saved all my notes from my friends, all these like little treasures that you get through high school during Spirit Week and stuff like that. And you'll be amazed how much it means to you.
Yeah.
Like 20 years on. I'm 20 years removed from high school. Yeah. I know that seems pretty young for like some people in our audience, but to me that's like, whoa, high school was 20 years ago. Sometimes it doesn't feel that long ago. Yeah. And I appreciate having that. And by the way, it's not narcissistic for Jackie to want to rescue the pictures and hang them on a clothing line and try to salvage them.
Yeah, they're memories.
I'm going to tell you what, if anybody has had their basement flooded, and my parents did a couple times, like in our old house, that's the first thing they went for was the photo albums and the photographs to try to salvage them.
Oh, yeah. Well, when I guess not the last, but the second last visit, I went home. And before then, I told my family, look, whatever negatives you have, I want them all. Give them to me. I'm going to back them up digitally.
Smart.
Going to have them on different hard drives, whatever, because... And Mom stupidly threw out a lot of her negatives. Even so, what I had to do was go through all the photo albums, remove the plastic. I couldn't take them out because they had that old adhesive, and they're stuck.
Yes,
unless they're Polaroids, they're gone. Like Polaroids can come out; they're harder stock. And so I had to take a picture of them, like with my digital camera, then crop them, and then reprocess them because there's a little glare. I had to make sure there was just enough light in the room. But those old pictures had a lot of the gloss. Makes like a little light, you know what I mean?
And especially in those photo albums, they have some sort of adhesive on everything, it seems like. So then over time, when you stuff the negatives in the film.
Yeah, sometimes.
That pocket part, like my parents did it. And sometimes you could salvage, because I've done it before. Yeah. It'll be just the middle part, but the ends are stuck like glue.
Yeah. So what I did, and then I sent a bunch to my cousin who lives now. She's in DC, actually lives with her husband, and their 2 kids. But I sent her a whack of 4x6s or 3x5s actually, because the resolution was decent for negatives, and sent her pictures she'd never seen before. And she said, I cried when I was looking through these photos. I've never seen them.
But again, preserving a gigantic billboard of yourself is for who? And then when she dies, let's say, who's going to want that? I'm guaranteeing it's nobody.
No, and that's why I've tried to whittle away everything I own to make it digital as much as I can, because, we don't have kids. We're not going to leave anything to anybody, I don't think. And it's just going to be someone's big albatross around their neck. So trying to get as simplified, as zen as possible, and then digital, like I said, somewhere in the cloud storage. I wonder how many people's memories are stuck somewhere because, like Ralph, because they're gone and they didn't take care of it, or it's just in the ether. No one knows the password. Do they just disappear in Google Drive?
One of the greatest things we did before my grandma passed away, and it was right after my papa passed away, she made us sit down every week with her, my sister and I, and we got tubs of the photographs she had. Tubs. And we went through them all, and we scrapbooked. So each of her children could have a personal scrapbook, and we would write the dates and what she could remember about each photograph underneath. And I had like really fancy cursive writing. Yeah. And it took over a year for the project, but then we gave them to them for Christmas, and it was sobbing. People were, it's a beautiful thing, but
it is a lot of work.
Yeah, with clothespins. He has them drying out in the backyard.
And I ironed them. There you go.
He said it was the funniest thing he ever saw.
It's not funny.
There isn't even in what?
There's not an ounce of truth in that?
he was at my house. After that, there was an announcement.
You didn't try your pictures out in the backyard?
That's not funny.
Checkbooks were.
Yeah, there's nothing funny about it. Like, what's funny that someone is drawing out pictures that they don't want spoiled?
Are you going to laugh when somebody has a hurricane and their house floods and they're trying to preserve their belongings and hanging them out to dry?
And a trampoline is flying through the neighborhood. I love that. Someone on Twitter made a Twitter handle. Gary's missing trampoline or something.
Yeah, I might have laughed the hardest during that one of the trampoline noises at first, and just the idiocy of Booey. There's a hurricane coming, and you leave the trampoline up. You fucking idiot!
Yeah,
hanging in the dining room to dry out.
Checkbooks.
Yeah. Jesus.
Jackie Martling check account. Says his pictures are hanging all up in clotheslines.
Money laundering. Like I said,
he ate them. All
right, we got to take a break.
Nobody's in my house but me. I'm the only one who sees the picture.
All right, we'll take a break.
Iowa, what a great product they make. They make the Mini-Max. Mini-Max. Iowa Mini-Max, Robin, is so good. And I know you have one in your apartment. Speaking of your apartment, you do have the Iowa Mini-Max.
Yeah, right under the picture.
Right under the picture. Play tapes of yourself.
So there's constantly music playing as you view.
Yeah. How'd you get that monstrosity to Baltimore anyway, that giant picture?
I sent it.
You nailed it?
Yeah.
So what, did they have to frame it themselves?
No, I had it framed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How did they react? Did they call you?
What do you mean, how did they react?
When they got
told you where it is in the house.
Well,
you saw it?
Yeah.
Make you feel good? You know, I mean, your parents like worship you.
It's kind of ridiculous. I mean, it's theirs.
Your parents worship you. This is so flies in the face of all the horse shit that she said. It's actually enraging.
It's infuriating. Absolutely.
Because you just know of all the poor kids who have been abused or molested by their parents and how traumatic that is. Some never recover. Some kill themselves. Some get fucked up and end up being molesters themselves. Like, it's just wild that she made that up. And imagine her parents what did they get, a delivery? And then it's that?
Ding ding, and what the fuck is this? You know, did someone order a refrigerator? Comes and there's like 6 guys holding onto it because they can't. It's like a
dolly.
Coffin. Yeah,
they got
like they're pallbearers.
Fucking a truck.
It looks like, I mean, then theirs is not a big house, so this is really.
You know, be good. You send them like a slide.
Overwhelming.
You send them a slide projector with different pictures of you, so they can like change like every hour.
Right, that's what I
on the wall.
Because really, when I went there were pictures of me all around the house that I didn't like. I mean, but they were all around the house.
Right. So you said, hey, get rid of those and put this one giant one up.
Yeah, just take this one giant one.
Anyway, hey, let me tell you about Iowa. Never mind the picture. Let's get off the picture already.
I think for any pictures of her, for the most part, I mean, they must have put up their own anyway, but most families would. But I guarantee she probably made it so that she had, it wasn't just this one big one. She told them to sent them other ones to put up.
I'll tell you what, like my parents, they put the embarrassing family photo ones where I don't think my mom and dad are particularly thrilled with them either anymore. They're in our they're in their basement. Like, where company doesn't go, like by the laundry.
Yeah, perfect.
Please.
Enough with that. Iowa 3500 Mini-Max. That thing is so small. You should put the Mini-Max.
Compared to the picture, it's big.
You should put the Mini-Max next to the picture. The picture looks bigger.
She'd kill to have Iowa as a sponsor now if they even exist anymore. Now it's fucking Squatty Potty. It's not even. It's like ZipRecruiter, Total Wine.
Let's listen to this live read. It's him half-arsing it and just talking on top of it still about the Robin picture. It's actually confusing because you're not sure, is this a photography company? Like,
no, exactly. Well, exactly. And they got green onions playing underneath it. I don't know why.
I was going to say, why is this playing underneath it? Am I missing something?
Yeah, fucking.
Was this their theme song?
No, it used to be Tilt-A-Whirl, the Jimmy Vaughn the song. This is
Hey, anyway, listen. Tell them about the karaoke. There's a karaoke feature on the Mini-Max. This is a little tiny system that has sound like you're in a concert.
Absolutely. And you can even add another speaker for surround sound,
Oh,
Howard.
I didn't know that.
Yes, you can.
And also, you can listen to your favorite CD while you not only sing, but you can also change two of the CDs while one is playing.
That's right. And you can drown out the vocals so
Yeah.
that all that is heard is you.
I was Mini Man, Jerry.
I love hearing about old technology and commercials because I remember when my mom and dad went to a store and we got a CD changer. It was like 8 CDs or 10 or something.
Yeah, sure.
And I remember hearing the sound. I actually can visualize and hear that sound of when the CD stopped and you would hear that pull out and go back, like the change. The change.
Yeah.
I could hear it in my parents' big family room. They had one of those big wooden ones where it like there's the TV in the middle, then books on the end, and then the CD changers on the bottom. And you would pull out, you would open the cupboard, and your technology would be under there, and then the speakers would be on either side.
My mother still has one from Germany that when she was still when she was working in Germany, and it's got the turntable in one section with an 8-track and a AM/FM radio in one sec. But the audio stuff doesn't work anymore. It's long gone. It's then the speakers, of course, in either bottom end, left and right. In the bottom center, there's a wine rack.
Oh, yes.
It opens up and you can put a couple bottles of wine in there. And then in the other side, there's, I can't remember exactly what there is.
Yeah.
But I go, why are you keeping this? Nothing of this works except the wine rack. And she goes, it's just a beautiful piece of wood. Like it's a great piece of furniture, really. And I go, okay, we can update this with, things that actually work. And she goes, no. And she's right. The finishing on it was superb. The craftsmanship, you're not going to get that anymore.
My parents had an antique hutch in like one of those dining, like it's almost like a mini hutch, I guess you could say, but it's on wheels. So it could kind of go around to different pieces. And when I moved into this house now that I own, I said to my parents, I go, I know, like I was looking at old photographs of our house and I said, hey, where is that old antique hutch? I mean, it had to be in our family for fucking generations. Yeah. And I didn't see it in their new house. So I asked them, I go, do you guys still have that like hutch and that thing? And they're like, it's been sitting in our garage since we moved here. It's got to have like a foot of dust on it. Like we don't. And my dad surprised me and refinished it. And it's in my house now. And it's so beautiful. Like, I'm so glad they didn't get rid of it. Those pieces, they come back around or they're timeless or they just go in certain settings. And I'm so glad they didn't get rid of it.
They also can be worth a shitload of money. My mother got rid of this red velour couch. It had 2 pieces attached with at either end with a lazy Susan. Some gay guy bought it like for $50 because she just was like getting rid of it basically. And he bought it for $50, and I guarantee that kid sold it on eBay for like $1,000. Oh yeah, guaranteed.
That's because all the like especially hipster people love that shit.
I was pissed when she did it because I told her I could have gotten you like literally 20 times that amount for that couch easily. And they would have come and they would have been drooling over it. And then the other bitch of it is it was the most comfortable couch I've ever been on in my life. And also mostly because we weren't allowed to sit on it. So it was on.
I know that.
No, that's for good people. That's for like the good company. Like that's the room for good people. Like what are we?
It's either that's the room for good people or it's the room that's pretty that nobody touches, but we can like show you it.
Yeah, exactly.
We walk through this room barely.
Right. It's like the Hermitage Museum in fucking St. Petersburg. My dad would nap there actually. He was allowed to. So but everybody else was like, just stay away. That's like you stay away from the Oval Office. Yeah.
All right, as for the Iowa Mini Man. All right, very good.
We're back with the Howard Stern Show. You lousy motherfucker, you son of a bitch, you son of a bitch.
All right.
Okay.
We're back. We're hanging out. We're getting ready to do news, but also on our phone, Dominic Barbara.
Who now wants to confirm the story of Jackie?
Dominic, you were at Jackie's house, right? Dominic? He's eating. He's probably eating. Wait. Dominic, you there?
Yep.
Oh, there he is. Hi, Dominic.
Hi, Howard.
His phone sounds miraculously the same 20 years later.
It literally sounds like he's calling from a submarine.
Yeah. The submersible.
Dominic Barbara, bloated attorney.
I went to the house right after the flood, and you have to start off with when you go into the backyard, there are clotheslines going everywhere, hanging pictures, posters. And you go, and you don't want to laugh because it's so, tragic.
It is tragic. And don't you think Dominic sounds like he rolled himself in saran wrap before he made a phone call? Like he just took a fucking big roll of saran wrap and decided to roll it all over his face and say, "Hi, I'm good. Hey, hello."
It's like a Costco chicken bake was calling into the show.
You walk downstairs.
What's tragic, the flood or the fact that Jack gets so many pictures?
No, what's tragic is how the deck bent when he stepped on it.
What's it like, a shanty town?
There's so much water downstairs. Computers are floating by.
Dominic is cracking up.
There were computers floating by.
The imagery is too much.
And it's really, honestly, kind of ironic because then you think about his house.
Oh, fuck
and we discussed this. And guys, again, reminder, if you haven't, look up Dominic Barbara's house. And where was it?
Fire Island.
Fire Island.
Shelter Island. Sorry, not Fire Island.
Me. Fire Island's the gay island.
Yeah, right. That's Howard's secret place.
Yeah, that's where he's getting his fucking camera boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of sad that, he's laughing about Jackie and this whole flood, but look at what happened to his life.
It's almost prophetic, yeah.
Everything is done perfect by he and his wife. It's like the enchanted cottage. It's like the little world.
Did you take a spin by the World Trade Center for a few more belly laughs there?
So he just up to his bedroom. He says, "I got to show you my bedroom."
Because in its bedroom?
Honestly, even more odd and prophetic is Jackie just said spin by the World Trade Center, which, by the way, will have photographs and floating papers and office supplies and people just destroyed. How odd is that? I have chills right now.
It's like when
both of those things are now just gone.
Yeah, well, when you see the World Trade Center in films about New York, they take those long roving shots and whatever, and you kind of go, "Oh, geez, yeah, those aren't there anymore. Can we digitize these out?" But that's life, unfortunately, sometimes. Yeah.
Well, I said, "All right." We walk up these stairs.
No small job for you.
You can't stand up in the bed.
I know. Where was it, in the attic?
Yeah.
Jackie had an attic. So he decides he's going to move his bedroom up to the attic.
Yeah.
So he invites us up there. He goes, "I'm going to put a bed, and I'm going to put a little..." It's this little, it looks like Cousin It's room, and you can't stand up in it.
You have to roll around it.
I love it. I'm sorry.
I feel like that guy Hudson. They couldn't get me out of the house.
You also look like that guy Hudson.
Walter Hudson.
Fucking Ted. I love that Dominic's getting such a kick out of this.
Yeah.
They had to get a crane.
Like Hudson. Why did they get
Dominic calls me up and he's hysterical. He goes, "You can't even stand up in the bedroom."
I was afraid they would get me out of the house.
He was stuck.
I'm surprised you got out of the car.
I mean, Jackie makes a real good living. I mean, it's not like he's broke. I mean,
I got a great house.
Get a bedroom where you can stand up.
Hey, I have to live there, not you.
But it's a beautiful. It's got all these things on the walls from his whole life. It's really sweet.
Right, that's a memorial.
Did you ever have friends like my best friend Christine? She had her bedroom, which was on the second floor, but it was a split level home. So I guess you would say third floor, but it was on the slant of the roof.
Yeah.
So you would walk in her bedroom and you can walk, but as you walked more into the bedroom, you'd have to watch.
You'd knock your head
knock yourself right out.
Right. Yeah. No, I've seen.
If you stood up straight in some parts, you would totally whack your head.
Yeah, it's a space. It's kind of a waste of space to have rooms in there because all that lower area that your feet could access sort of is inaccessible because you almost have to construct something to get around that.
Well, she would have the bed in the part where it's taller, and then it would go lengthwise, vertical. And then she had a TV in the small part, but then she'd have bean bags or poofs or something around it if you wanted to sit and watch TV. But then you would have to remember
Don't stand up.
If you stand up, you're gonna get your fucking head knocked. And trust me, I've done it.
Yeah.
To Jackie.
It's like an arts and crafts house.
No, it's nice.
Anything him and his wife make,
They put it
they
up.
hang it up on the wall.
But the best to me was when she framed the marriage license. I hung that on.
Well, let me tell you something. That deserved to be framed. Getting Jackie to marry her was no easy feat.
I guess so.
Yeah.
That's her proudest moment.
I've never seen that in a house. Have you?
Never. No. In Greek Orthodox Church, there are these crowns that they put on your head. Like the priest, he exchanges them 3 times, and then they're attached by like silk. And then loads of Greek families will put them in a frame with a picture from the wedding and like all kinds of just a little velvet or something like that. My mom did it. It looks really nice as a display. It's better than just a wedding photo, in my opinion. We have them, but my wedding was a memory I just fucking don't care to revisit. So I'm like, I'm not framing them. I don't want to remember my wedding day. It was so awful.
Yeah, I know people like who frame their diplomas, or I don't do that, but I know people who do. I've never heard of a marriage license framed.
No, I guess like if you're Nancy, you're going, well, it's proof. It's real. Yeah.
Dominic.
Listen.
Were they really pictures hanging on the
everywhere.
backyard?
and it's really nice.
Dominic,
Like
you swear to God on your Lord Jesus Christ that there were pictures of me hanging in the backyard?
Who's the Lord?
Yeah, go ahead. Pull that on him. Pull that on him. He'll explode on the spot.
He'll say that.
He'll say to the Lord Jesus
He'll say to the Lord Jesus Christ. Go ahead, Dominic.
Listen, as you
Go ahead, Dominic.
walk through the house, he'll point to a picture and he'll say, "That was from 1952." And
Now that's true. That's all true.
All right, Dominic.
All right, listen, I have that share thing for you.
What share
The
thing?
share walk-up thing.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah, it holds 2 breakfast trays in the morning.
Okay. Bye-bye. Dominic trying step aerobics.
Work in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dominic got to visit the Jackie Museum.
That's another thing I don't see anymore in people's homes, like TV trays. That's a throwback. Everybody
big
used to
time.
have them.
It was a long time. I haven't seen them for ages, and the only time they were really useful is when you had a big party and not enough tables.
Well, or when
And you were
have a
serving
grandmother
food.
that waits on you in hand and foot, and she makes you all separate meals and puts them in front of you.
It was perfect for Christmas or Thanksgiving when people wanted to eat downstairs. If there was like a game going on and people wanted to watch it, it's actually like really useful, but so ugly back in the day. And I haven't seen it in ages.
And do you remember like when you remember when you'd pull them out and you'd catch your finger because they had that posing folding thing?
Yeah, you got it. Yeah.
And like
many a nail was severed.
You felt like Walter Hudson.
He called me up afterwards. He goes, "You're not going to believe it." I go, "I know, I've been there." He goes, "Pictures everywhere on the wall. There's millions of pictures." And then you go to the bedroom and you can't stand up.
That's true.
Well, that is true. We were there. Remember he said he was thinking of making that his bedroom?
Right, yeah. Because at the time he was just living on the 2nd floor there.
Yeah, in the real bedroom.
Right.
But now it's the
he's
real
upstairs.
bedroom. I think they get dressed in the real bedroom and they just sleep up
that's their dressing
up in the attic.
Right.
Am I right?
Yep.
Yeah.
They just
he's
crawl
all
up to
upset.
go to bed.
No, he's all insulted.
That's the truth.
Oh, it's all right to make fun of me and my picture.
Okay, so Jackie, wait a minute. So Jackie has a flood in his house and is preserving whatever is left. And so he moved his bedroom upstairs based on something catastrophic that happened, has absolutely that has nothing to do with Robin deciding to put a gigantic billboard of herself in her house.
No, I had a feeling also they were going to go that way anyway to see if they could goof on Jackie, but also because Robin wasn't going to be able to take the ball busting for much longer. I think he knew that too.
Oh, well, Howard sensed that, and eventually it got too much, and he knew it, so he has to switch gears to say, look, everybody gets it.
Yeah.
One can't laugh at oneself.
It's you, joke man.
Okay.
You cuts me to the quick.
All right, guys, that's the end of this episode. I haven't titled it yet because it's on the fly, but we hope you've enjoyed it. Any shout outs, Sam?
Oh, what should we title this?
Photo finish. I don't know.
Maybe like
Coming soon, Robin.
Bright Lights, Big Robin.
Bright Lights, Big Robin. Perfect. I'll make the Photoshop tonight. Anyway, guys, take care. We love you.
Bye.
Oh, just real quick, I was also calling because I just wanted to say my tour starts on the 17th
See you later.
of June.
Thanks, Eric. All right, buddy.
Eric, what? I couldn't hear you. What did you say?
I said the tour that I'm
Take care, man. Don't ever call back.